Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Um, I have been gone for quite some time. I haven't been putting out content. I'm not even giving you guys any excuses. I'm just going to say that I'm back and I apologize. Thank you for everybody who has been reaching out. Every single time you guys reach out to me and say, what's going on with your YouTube channel? You were talking about content that really needs to be talked about. When are you putting out another video? That makes my day. It means so much to me. Every single person, every single time. And I really appreciate you guys for caring and for checking and, just being consistent in your support. Thank you guys so much. Today's video is super up close and personal. I don't have my, recording easel. Shout out to Kalia for getting me that. I'm not home and I just really feel the need to talk about something. It's been on my heart and my head for a while, something I've been thinking about, and I've been scared. This is a really super touchy topic, and I felt like I could get some backlash talking about this. And so I kind of put it out of my head for a little while. I'm like, maybe not. But I feel it. And, whoever it's meant to go to is going to receive this message. So I am just going to go on ahead and I'm going to put it out there. And so what inspired this video was a couple of things. Media, definitely. R. Kelly, the Netflix special called Abducted in Plain Sight. And the last thing that really just drilled this into me, that it was something I needed to talk about, was a conversation with a young lady that I had. And what I'm going to talk about today is child molestation and its prevalence and how we're going to put a stop to it. Child molestation and child sexual abuse is so prevalent in a lot of different communities, and it's scary. It's scary the amount of conversations that I've had. It's scary the amount of people that are suffering in silence. It's scary that it's 2019 and people are still getting away with these types of things. You want to believe that everything is so hyper vigilant, and we're also hyper aware. We have so much access to social media. We hear people's stories, people's testimonies, and you want to believe that this is not going on anymore, but it is, and it's like a generational curse. It has been going on for years. It has been happening. Most of the people who are victimizing other people have been victimized themselves, and it's time that we put a stop to it. And I want to, before I even get into me, talking about the different things that I've learned over the years, I want to talk about some statistics. So, first of all, and I'm going to leave the information for the article that I read from the statistics in my description box so that you guys can access it yourself as well. And so, the prevalence of child sexual abuse and molestation is it's kind of difficult. It's difficult to gauge because so many people don't report. And a lot of people are afraid, and a lot of people are ashamed, and they just don't want to talk about it. It's really uncomfortable to have to relive time and time again. And it's just not something that people want to talk about. So the statistics are based on people who do report. And so these statistics say that 1 in 5 girls and 1 in 20 boys are a victim of child sexual abuse. Children who are most vulnerable to child sexual abuse are between the ages of 7 and 12, and 3 out of 4 adolescents who have been sexually abused were victimized by someone that they knew very well. And so that last one really strikes a chord with me because, when you think of sexual abuse and rape, you think the media's version of, some strange man sneaking into somebody's window, or somebody attacking you on the street in an alley, or, some crazy deranged man that, just attacks people. But a lot of times these things are happening with people that you know and that you love and that you trust. People are taking advantage of kids that have their trust, that have their parents' trust, that are able to manipulate that vulnerability, that are able to use that against them and in their, in their favor to do these types of things. Aunts, uncles, sisters, brothers, cousins, friends. These are these child molesters, guys. They're not that random guy from the alley. Sometimes that is the case. But a lot of, more times than not, it is somebody that you know. And it's scary to think that somebody that you know and that you love is capable of these things. But a lot of people are hurting. A lot of people are hurting. And that's not an excuse. I am not saying that it is okay for you to be out here molesting people and raping people because that happened to you. No, absolutely that is not okay. But that is the case in a lot of times. A lot of people were victims and they victimize other people. And it's scary to think that, oh, not my uncle. Oh, not my aunt. Oh, not my cousin. It's always not, oh, not my dad. It's always that, oh, they could never do that. You couldn't even fathom. But it's happening, y'all. It's happening. People these aren't aliens, guys. This stuff is happening to people. And it's so scary because everybody will immediately say, oh, they're not that type of person. They wouldn't do something like that. No, not them. They're so nice. They're so personable. They're so this and that. And can you imagine? Can you ever imagine how it feels as a victim for somebody to say that you're not valid because the person that you're accusing is fucking nice? They're great. I've known them my whole life. Who cares? These people are hurting kids, guys. And I'm not even here to go off. I want to make sure, because I'm kind of getting in my feelings, and I want to make sure that my delivery and my message is clear. These are conversations that we need to have with our kids. This is a generational curse that's been going on for way too long. People have been molested. They're molesting and raping other people. And at some point, we have to put a stop to it. We have all this access to all this information, all these resources, all this stuff. But a lot of this starts at home. These conversations, letting your children know, having open lines of communication. A lot of times, a lot of us are like, hey, you know what? I don't want to listen right now. I don't want to talk right now. Sometimes we yell at kids for saying certain things. And I get it. It's natural. We get frustrated. Sometimes we don't want to talk. Sometimes you have had a long day. But it's really important for us to let our children know, I will never get mad at you. There is never anything that you can't tell me. I want you to tell me everything. I never want you to be afraid to tell me anything. I never want you to not have conversations with me. If anybody is doing this, this is wrong. This is not okay. Don't let somebody do this. Like that whole movie about Abducted in Plain Sight, literally, he gauged a girl for like years about aliens, that it was supposed to be in her fate to procreate with him. She was 12, she was vulnerable, and she believed him. Children are vulnerable. They believe, we have programmed them to believe that adults are trustworthy and that adults are people that we should trust and love and that are there for us and that want to, do the best for us. But that's not always the case. I'm doing a video. And it's just like, that's not always the case, guys. And we have to let people know, it's okay. If this has happened, you can let me know. This is not okay. We don't do things like this. This is not okay. This is not acceptable. It starts at home. It starts at home. Hey, you know what? If nobody is supposed to touch you here, if anybody ever does, let me know. If anything is wrong, you can tell me. You can always talk to me. And that's not even always going to work. I'm not saying that we're going to catch every predator in every case and every time that something like this happens, starting this conversation is going to be just the end all be all. But I'm saying that it has to start somewhere. This has been going on for years, generations. And older people are going to hate this video. That's really why I didn't want to put this out, because they love what happens in the household stays in the household, or you don't talk about this, or just being embarrassed. They're just a lot of times just embarrassed, like, oh my gosh, this happened to my kid, but I don't want to talk about it. Oh my God. And listen, our generation has stopped that. It's not okay. It's not okay. These are conversations that need to be had. I understand it's uncomfortable because a lot of people don't want to put this in their child's head, or you feel like, oh, I don't want to fill them up with negativity. I don't want to expose them to this. I don't want to even have them thinking about this at such a young age. But like, this is how people get victimized. This is how people get victimized, guys, because they're completely just like, hey, I'm assuming this is normal. This person is an adult. I trust them. My mom trusts them. My dad trusts them. They're always at my house. Those are the people that are molesting these kids. And those are the people that are trustworthy to us and to these kids. And so they're trusting what they say and believing that what they say is okay. It's important for us to start this conversation. And it's not just our girls, guys, it's our boys too. And a lot of times our boys are suffering in silence because it just challenges their manhood. Oh my gosh, I was touched by a man, or this happened. And then people are like, oh, he's gay, or oh, this and that. A lot of men suffer in silence. A lot of young boys suffer in silence because they're afraid to come out and say that this happened to me, because they don't want to feel like a victim. They feel like, oh, this is weak, or this is this and that. So a lot of people suffer in silence, guys. And I'm not saying that this one YouTube video is going to be the end all be all, y'all, but we have to do something. We have to put something in place. We got to start somewhere. And I really hope that this gets to whoever it needs to get to. It was really on my heart. I really felt like it was important that I put it out there. And I really didn't want to offend somebody, but I'm positive that people are going to be offended. I mean, people love to be offended. So, like I said, I hope this gets to who it needs to get to. I hope we pay attention. I hope we're hyper vigilant. And I hope that we do put things in place. Open those lines of communication. Talk to our kids. Make sure that we're telling them what's okay and what's not okay. Make sure that we're paying attention to signs. Guys, just simply start the conversation.